Instead of dwelling on these bizarre things, I focused on the road and pressed the accelerator to increase speed. It was already late, and it certainly wasn't safe out there. While driving, I attempted to fix the radio, but it was no use. The radio continued to play muffled sounds all the way to my house. Strangely, I didn't want to turn it off and drive in silence on the empty eerie road. My house came into view at the corner of the road, and I felt a sudden cold shiver. Tyler's house remained in darkness, but mine, not so. All the windows were brightly lit from within. I was sure I had turned it off earlier today. So, who had turned it on? I parked the car in front of the house and turned off the muffled radio. I felt like something had followed me back here from Mr. Coleman's house. Before stepping out, I cautiously checked all around the car to make sure there were no animals or, I don't know, anything else lurking nearby. The front door was locked, so I quietly inserted the key and opened the door slowly. Inside, all the lights in the living room were on, flickering slightly, and the TV was also on, playing a sports channel. I grabbed an umbrella and started looking around the house, but there was no one there, and no sign of forced entry either. I returned to the living room and unplugged the TV. That's when I noticed the lights were still on even though the switch was off.
What the hell?
I flicked the switch back and forth several times to check the lights, but they stayed on. Then, in the next moment, the lights went off.
I think I fixed the issue.
I turned on the lights again, and this time they worked properly. I wasn't sure what was going on, but whatever it was, I was getting increasingly creeped out with each passing second. I took a cold shower, had some leftovers, and then went to bed. I felt incredibly tired, and not to mention, I still had nightmares about the car accident. I closed my eyes, and for a moment, I was at peace. Then suddenly, a vibration jolted me awake, followed by a wave of high-pitched sound that felt like it was exploding in my ears and brain. It took me a few seconds to regain my senses. I looked out the window. The rain had completely stopped, and the sky was still covered with dark clouds. But something was off about Tyler's house. I gazed at it, and it started to make sense. The lights were different. His house was shrouded with a faint white light, similar to moonlight, except there was no moon. Suddenly, I heard screams echoing from Tyler's house. It was Claire, Tyler's mom. Then a gunshot rang out, followed by the sounds of a struggle and shattering glass. Something terrible was happening there. I was about to run down to the house, but what I saw paralyzed me, preventing me from moving a single muscle. My eyes were wide open, and a cold shudder ran through my body. The short dark figure I had been seeing all this time stood next to the living room window, gazing at me with its faintly glowing lifeless eyes. At that moment, I understood what it was trying to say.
You are next.